Some call him Apocalypse.
He was some kind of god.
If you had said to me growing up that there would even be X-Men movies, period, I would have been very excited. But the truth is, every day on the set of these movies, when I see, Wolverine or Cyclops or Professor X or Magneto saying lines that I wrote, it's completely surreal.
I'll take everything from them.
I've never felt power like this before.
With so much content to choose from. I mean, this particular story, the way that we have seen it now and fans are about to see it, it is brand new.
Yeah.
Right?
This film, for the first time, is a world in which mutants are not only acknowledged, but seemingly at the beginning of this movie, superficially at least, embraced. And that we've never done in one of these films before. We've never had a world that is 10 years after the sort of outing of mutants, and a world in which we say at the very beginning of the film, there are mutants in all walks of life, mutants that are leaders, that are political leaders, that are entertainers, that are athletes, that are a whole host of different things that are an accepted part of society, even though fear and prejudice does continue, if not on the superficial level, just beneath it.
The world is better.
Just because there's not a war doesn't mean there's peace.
And the other part that I think is unique to our franchise now is you're catching up with these characters. So every time between films, there's a decade of life that's been lived. And that's different than most sequels where it's a week later, a month later, maybe it's a year later. And I like the feeling that these characters have matured and evolved off screen, and you're catching up to them in their new lives.
You know what, you can even sort of tell that in some of the performers.
Follow me.
Like Jennifer Lawrence, from when she started in the X-Men movies to now, she seemed like a girl then, she's a woman now,
Yeah, I think she's grown up a lot. She still looks like a girl.
Yeah.
She really has matured, and I think what she's gone through in life experience, and when we cast her in First Class, she was essentially an unknown actress, entirely an unknown actress, and now she's the most famous actress in the world. I sort of wrote that into this script, that her character, Mystique, in this movie is treated by the entire world as this sort of celebritized hero and de facto leader and role model, whether she wants it or not.
I'm not a hero.
Students look up to you.
If I'm going to teach your kids something, I'm going to teach them how to fight.
Who's your favorite mutant to write about?
Magneto, without hesitation. Magneto was my favorite character growing up reading the comics. I just think he's the most complex, sophisticated, let's call it, villain. I think as a Jew, I also identify with a guy who, his religion is a big part of his identity and a big motivation. And I've just always loved him as a character.
Eric, don't join them.
Whatever it is you think you saw in me, I buried it with my family.
Together, we will cleanse the earth.
Everything they've built will fall!
There's a lot of different iterations of Apocalypse in the comics. There's also a different version of him in the animated show. And so we sort of picked bits and pieces. They were our favorites, my favorites, Bryan Singer's favorites, combined with what you have to do in all of these, which is reimagining it.
From the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one!
I think that's part of what, when done well, comic book fans like, is that they're not just seeing the comic brought to live action, they're seeing the work of the filmmakers and the artist that goes into it, reinterpret it, and make it fresh and different.
You're X-Men.